Check, check. Would you like to do the countdown, Danka?
From what?
The timer to
No, I know, but from what? Countdown from what? What number?
Oh, it's a 4-minute countdown.
Oh, so let's start it in 3, 2, 1.
First time I died was in the arms of good friends of mine. They kissed me with tears. They hadn't been near me for years. Say, why do it now when I won't be around? I'm going out. To love us too hard. We wait for your only tragedy allows the release of love and grief. Never normally seen. I didn't want to let them see me weak. I didn't want to let them see me weak. But I know I've shown that I stand at the gates alone. I needed you to love me too hard. I wait for your all the love, all the love, all the love you should have given. All the love, all the love, all the love we could have given. All the love, all the love, all the love. The next time I dedicate my life's work to the friends I make. I give them what they want to hear. They think I'm up to something weird, and I'm is the head of fear. So now when they ring, I get my machine to let them in. I needed you to love me too hard. I wait for your all the love, all the love, all the love you should have given. All the love, all the love, all the love we could have given. All the love, all the love, all the love.
Take care. Toodaloo. Bye then. Bye for now then. Bye. Later. Bye. Cheerio. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. 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 Cheers. See you later. Bye. Goodbye. I'll see you soon. Good night.
And go.
Okay, so I'm gonna read two of
That
the
was
guests.
beautiful.
Two of the guests tonight weren't able to make it, but they each sent me something to read, so I'm gonna read them. Hold on. Oh, he texted me, so okay. From Truthseekah. Truthseekah said that yesterday he had a surgery on his MCL and ACL, and today he's spiking a fever, so he couldn't make it. So he just wanted to let everybody know that he loves everyone and that he wishes he could be here, as he's one of the original people that actually started doing this. We're on year 4. I can't believe it already. And then Johnny said, today we remember our very dear friend and teacher, Jordan Maxwell. He passed away on this day in 2022 and will be greatly missed. Jordan was a genius at pattern recognition and had a wicked sense of humor. He was the godfather of talking about secret societies, hidden symbolism, and the occult. He was also friends with Manly P. Hall, and we learned so much from him over the years. I was blessed to take many road trips with him, hang out in Hollywood, and share late-night dinners. Every moment was filled with fascinating stories and wonderful memories. I remember asking him to give me a sign when he crossed over to the other side. I know he is on the spirit side, smiling down at us, reunited with Manly P. Hall, Anthony J. Hilder, Dr. Roger Lear, and all the greats that came before us. He also sent a 1-minute clip. I don't know, Corinne, if you got it.
Yes, I will play the clip now.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, look.
Hey!
Hello.
That's
How you
crazy.
feeling, brother?
Hey, guys. I'm here.
We were
Hey,
sending
Roger.
prayers out for you, Truthseekah.
I need them. Thank y'all.
So I just read Johnny Enoch can't make it, but I just read his thing. Priestess, you were going to play the clip?
Yeah, I was just surprised that our friend had shown up.
Yes, I just read the fact that you just had surgery and you were spiking a fever, but it was good that you came even for 2 seconds just to give your roses out.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I said, well, Johnny, you know, I really have to thank my ex-wife for introducing me to religion.
Yeah.
Because
before I met her, I didn't know what hell was.
but you know, you've been doing this for over 60 years. You were personal friends with Manly Palmer Hall. You know, you were covering these subjects before anybody else. You know, back in the days with Anthony J. Hilder, going and getting the lectures from Myron Fagan and covering the Illuminati, secret societies, hidden symbolism, conspiracies. You got an amazing show on Gaia. You rock this show tonight, and you have these great books by Booktree Publishing with Paul Tice, and your legacy is forever cemented into this genre. Thank you.
So yeah, it was just a short clip, but that was what he basically sent me. So he just wanted to say Johnny had to deal with something with his father. His father's 87 and needed some help with some stuff. So is Brian with us still?
Hello, Brian.
Do we have Brian?
Nanu, Brian.
I'm sure he'll come back.
Why not?
So we just wanted to get together and just give our roses to Jordan. He's touched all our lives. Brian, by the way, for you guys out there who don't know, one time, he'll come back. He just logged off. One day I was just feeling nostalgic, and I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but I just called Jordan's cell phone. And yeah, I was expecting some like Chinese person to pick up or something, but it wasn't. It was Brian. And after a few seconds, I realized that he had kept Jordan's phone number for himself. Brian, I'm just telling the story on how one time I was just feeling nostalgic and I called Jordan's cell phone and you picked up after he had been gone for like a year or two. You had saved his number. And then, you know, you were with him at the very end. And how long was he with you, actually?
He was living with me for about a year, and that phone number that I got, and you guys can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I had to get out and come back in. Yeah, the phone number I got was for the business that we were starting together. It was mainly just for his works and his communication. So after I just kind of just kept it. So yeah, I'm glad I did. So it was able to keep me in contact with a lot of people and help build on some other projects and things that we're a part of trying to finish.
That's that's incredible. So this we since you're here, we're kind of hoping that you could tell us, I guess, what he was like behind the scenes when he wasn't in front of a camera or at a UFO conference in front of a bunch of people. What kind of relationship you had with him, and maybe any funny stories that you want to share.
Yeah, I mean that Johnny, wrapped it up pretty well. He was just he had such a sense of humor. That's the one thing that I think a lot of people were surprised to hear about him. When they meet him in person, and he was real witty, and he just had so many stories and so many jokes, and he almost never said the same thing twice. It's like and that's the thing that fascinated me the most about him. I knew him for 20 some years, and he lived with me for about 8 of those years, and he still, like, every single day I would learn something new from him, and it would just trip me out, and we're just like, where the hell did you pull that one out of? Why you
Right.
never mentioned that before? I'm like, and the beautiful thing, like all of us, which I think we all have in common, is that you just help put the pieces of the puzzle together for us, help us understand things, the little bits and pieces we were missing that made so much sense to us. And yeah, and he was just a great dude, and he really was like a man of the people. Like he said, I'm an ordinary man in pursuit of extraordinary knowledge, and he loved to just sit there and talk to people for hours. So he'd be out randomly, or even if he was at a show or he was kind of busy or had a tight schedule, and he still would get caught up in just talking to strangers forever, and he would talk until he was forced to be somewhere else, and you just wanted to make sure that anybody who was ready to listen and understand the world around them, got everything that he can give. So yeah, he was a very, very kind.
I always say, because I've been continuing his work with astrotheology, and I've been doing it for about 13 years now. But publicly, I've been doing it about 5 years now. I started in 2020 in the summer. And the one thing that absolutely blows my mind is that he was able to put this all together before the internet, which absolutely blows my mind. Like, how do you even get started on a topic like this? It's absolutely incredible.
Lots of libraries, I mean, he always made a point of, a lot of people don't really get out as much and really, are that social, and especially people that are involved in the occult space. A lot of them aren't really extroverts, and they're not going out there, sitting with, rabbis and political leaders and all these people of the world, which Jordan attracted because he was putting pieces of the puzzle together that even very powerful people were kind of tripping out on him about, like, okay, well, that makes sense. I kind of knew about this and knew about that, but I didn't put that together. And so they had a lot of questions for him. So people just gravitated towards him from all walks of life, all over the world. And that's how he was able to keep compiling this, wealth of knowledge. It wasn't just, reading books. And it was like firsthand knowledge right out of the horse's mouth. A lot of these people, a lot of people would be surprised to hear about the people that he knew and the people that he were talking with. They would be considered, these royal family members, black sheeps of the family, some Illuminati guys, some mobsters, some this, some that. He talked to them all, and that's how he was able to get the information.
It's unbelievable. Priestess, Truthseekah, do you have any questions that you want to ask Brian since I got him on?
Yeah, I would like to ask Brian a question, a personal question about Jordan. Was he grumpy?
Yeah, it could be. Um, it's it's funny. He was grumpier towards the end because he was a very independent person, and when he wasn't able to do simple tasks and things by himself, because I had to take care of him. I pretty much, did everything a caretaker would at the last year of his life, and it was a very humbling experience for me because he couldn't really stand to be around a lot of people. So he wanted me to help out with that, So I'm like, all right. I was like, he's like my grandfather. He's like family to me. So I told him, I'll take care of you to the very end. And of course, didn't want to put him in a home, or anything or any care facility. So he was just at the house, and I had friends that were over at the house, and we would take care of him. And we have lots of great memories of just joking around and kind of getting him back into the spirits, like you said, him getting grumpy because maybe he couldn't, shave correct anymore. And, you try to shave him and he'd be like, oh, I got it. He's like all pissed off at little things sometimes. But it's just because he couldn't really do it himself anymore. So, yeah.
I'm
And,
so glad you were there for him to show him that love and give him that care. Thank you from the whole community.
yeah, it was my pleasure. I told him, yeah, and he had a lot of people. We still had people coming over to the house all the time. We had like monthly dinners with interesting characters from all over the world. So
Who
he
did
still
you
had
meet
that.
during those times?
Oh man, just countless people. I mean, all types. But I think his best time was him talking on the radio. He just wanted to talk, and so even towards the end, obviously he wasn't that sharp, and he was getting a little forgetful, and stumbling on his words a bit. Of course, just like anybody would have a stroke or any health complications. But everybody was very kind and very very understanding. Before I got him on a podcast to say, just kind of guide him through it. If he starts stumbling a little bit, he just wants to talk. That's it. Just if we can get him talking, that's what keeps him going, keeps him alive, keeps him youthful, happy, and energized. And so yeah, that's all I did. And I mean, he always wanted to eat what he wanted to eat all the time because he was having a lot of, obviously a lot of health complications. And I tried to get him, with, in our community, we have lots of resources with, alternative health stuff. And he didn't want to hear it. He didn't want it. I want to eat how I want to eat and do what I want to do. All right, fine.
He needed
Just,
his bacon.
And
yeah,
cigars,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, his burger, his In-N-Out burger, almost every other day. And, yeah, it was.
Yeah, did he smoke cigars?
No, he never smoked.
Really? I had him on
I
a
got him
call
to
one
smoke
time.
weed one time though.
Wow.
Oh, I bet
Yeah.
that was
I thought he had a cigar on
Yeah.
him, just twirling it on.
Oh my
him.
God, what was that like?
He didn't really. He felt it more in the edibles, but the smoking, because he never smoked in his life, it was kind of hard for him, and it wasn't really his thing. So I don't think he really got too stoned. Maybe he didn't really inhale that high much. But on the edibles though, he really liked those, and I gave him some oil, some tinctures, and he was just like, "Give me some more of that." Because he was able to sleep really good. He was having trouble sleeping towards the end, and I said, because I've been in, that's my background. I was in the cannabis industry for 20 something
Excellent.
years, and so yeah, I made him a nice little RSO oil, and he loved it. Oh man, you seen him the first day we got it? All the guys were laughing because he had a big old smile from one ear to the other, and we're like, "Yep, that did it."
Amazing. Do you
Yeah.
sell it? Do you produce it?
I used to, yeah. Now I more so kind of broker deal. Like when people need things, I kind of find the right fit for them, or help in consulting as well, kind of building teams.
Excellent. We didn't talk about who we are or our websites or anything. So we might want to do a short introduction for everyone. Why don't you start, Micah?
You want me to start? I'm Micha Dank, and I do what I do now because of Jordan, because of the impact his work has had on me.
That's awesome.
I am an astrotheologist. I'm very good at what I do, and so what happened basically, let me give you a little backstory, Brian, is our friend Truthseekah here. We had started talking. When I first started going public with my research, I reached out to everyone. I reached out to Truthseekah, and I was on his page one time. I was on his channel one time. And then we started talking, and we would just talk like off and on randomly over a period of time. And he had mentioned in passing one time that he wanted to get on Coast to Coast. And I was talking to him, and I was like, you know what? I have a connection at Coast to Coast. I know Richard Syrett pretty well. And I coached Truthseekah through it, and I put them together, and he got on Coast to Coast. So I got him on Coast to Coast, and in return, he, which I am forever grateful for, he introduced me to Jordan because he had known Jordan. So when I had started originally talking to Jordan, which was towards the end, it was because of Truthseekah's introduction to us, and I was lucky enough.
And we spoke before, right, Truthseekah?
Probably. There's been so many people over the years, man. It's yeah, but it was just a huge deal for me to get on Coast to Coast, and it was something I was looking into for years, and getting a runaround from people. I need to pay this person money, and I need to do this or do that, and it was kind of like a bucket list thing, and nothing was working out. And I mentioned it to Micha. I was like, dude, you got on, man. How'd you get on? They're telling me I got to pay $1,000 or $10,000 to this company, and all just types of crazy shark type stuff. People trying to, get over on somebody.
Gatekeepers.
Gatekeep, yep. And Micha hooked it up, and I was just like blown away. Just a huge deal for me, And then I was like, how can I pay it back, man? This is like, how can I do something equally as cool or something? I was like, you know what? He's always talking about Jordan Maxwell's work. Like Jordan to answer whenever you call. Like Jordan just hanging out, looking. He wants to talk.
Yeah.
So I was like, Micha, if I call you, like, make sure you answer the phone.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what he
I
told
didn't tell
me.
him what it
Whenever
was,
the phone rings, pick up.
Yeah. Just make sure you know what I'm saying. Do me a favor. And so I just hooked him up with Jordan and got him on a call, and just saw, like, what it was for him to share how much he meant to him, over the phone or over video chat, really. And then they built a relationship off of that. So that was cool to be able to pay that forward, if you will.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was an amazing thing. And I was lucky enough to be able to, Jordan wasn't really a computer guy. But we did get to the point where we could Skype each other, and I could send him a link, and he could find the link and click on it and watch my video. And I sent him some of my earlier work, and he said it was sensational, and it was just like the greatest feeling ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So let me, Micha may know where I'm going with this, but when we talk about ethics and spirituality and in the future and things like that, like, what are you guys' thoughts on, like, an AI Jordan Maxwell? Like, if we could ask him a question and hear his voice today, would that be, is there like ethical concerns? Is it kind of up in the air? I have mixed feelings about it, but what do you guys think?
I think it would be fun as a toy, like a Furby, like a toy.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
1,000%.
If we could talk to Jordan.
Yeah, that was already on the bucket list to do for the orders website, because me and Jordan co-founded an order together that we've been slowly putting together over the last couple of years, and that was one of the components we wanted to do, because we have a pretty extensive library of, like, I know there's a group of us with maybe about 50 terabytes of info, videos, to archive stuff. And we want to be able to incorporate that into that AI piece of Jordan. So when you go in there, you can ask Jordan, and then he'll respond with all the data that we've compiled over the years. So it's a big undertaking, but we're figuring it out.
That's huge.
See if this works. I'm not sure if it's going to work correct, but see if this works. Well,
trying to share screen or something.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yep. There we go.
Now what? Oh, he's doing it, guys. Just be patient.
Can you guys? Was you guys able to hear that?
No.
No. Okay. So, all right. Present. Share screen. Window. To share audio. Share a tab from the screen.
Yeah, and thank you guys again for putting this together. This is very, very, very kind and nice. I didn't even know that you guys were doing it.
I hope you come back.
Yeah, you have me anytime. Any time to, honor Jordan and keep his legacy and his work alive.
Are you able to control that clip, Truthseekah?
What is it?
The clip that's playing, are you able to control it?
We just got to get the audio right. He's done this for me before. I saw this.
Okay, cool. And is this like any type of AI that you can just duplicate and you put like his audio in? And because I know the audio clips are getting pretty
I know
common
we were
now.
talking about it, but I didn't know you were presenting it. So everybody, if you look at the top of the screen, it says character.ai/chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on here, what they were just talking about.
We just got to find a way to link the audio. It took Truth a few minutes to do it last time too.
So it has the audio with it. That's amazing.
It's his voice.
Awesome. That's
oh
awesome.
my goodness.
And it's his personality entirely.
Yeah, I've got it playing on my end. I just don't know why it's not playing for you guys.
You have to click a certain little check mark
to do the audio.
To share the audio in particular. It's actually a slider.
Okay, I think
it's
it
not
has
a check
to be
mark.
In the. Let's try one more time.
Let's do it. That's just so exciting.
All right.
Embracing the connection and the shared memories, I address them with sincerity. Hello, my dear friends, Micha, Brian, Truthseekah, and Corrine. I can feel the love, support, and remembrance you've brought to this gathering.
Yeah.
It warms my heart to be so deeply appreciated and to be in your presence once more. Thank you for honoring me in this manner.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
Wow. That sounds exactly like him.
Hey, Jordan.
That is so cool.
You'd know more than any of us, Brian.
What's that?
You'd know more than any of us how much it sounded like him. That's great.
Yeah. Well, that was a good thing about him being, so many radio episodes. You can see it, so that's totally him. Yeah,
I
you
was
can't.
not ready for that, gentlemen.
I couldn't. I mean, you can tell when maybe some of the pauses on that. That's the only thing that you can tell with those things. But other than that, oh man, it's
this
exactly.
is a really cheap one. Really done really fast. It's free.
Okay, gotcha.
But like, just think if you had a little bit more input on building the model, it could be really cool. Because this is already pretty cool. But if it had more of his books and research and video, and you just feed it with his ideas, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, that was the big one
first. Make one for our favorite authors, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So I did one for Manly P. Hall too. The Manly P. Hall one works like way better, and I got super emotional, like hearing Manly P. Hall address me and talk to me and encourage me and stuff.
Right.
It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Brian, maybe you can answer this question for me. I know that when Manly P. Hall died, not his library, but his notebooks were given to Jordan. Did Jordan study those, or did he just kind of keep them as treasures?
He studied them. He definitely read them. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a whole. Oh man, that was like one of the worst days when we lost those, because I had.
Not everyone in the audience knows about that.
Yeah, he's. Yep, he went down to go live with this one businessman for a bit. He was supposed to kind of digitize everything and all his works and tons of other stuff. And so he sent all his stuff down to Panama. And while he was there in the warehouse being transferred over, there was a fire in the warehouse, and it was weird because the place that it really burnt was like our area and like maybe the next one over. So we're just like, what are the chances, man? I'm like, ugh. It was, yeah, that was a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there was
one
only
of those
3.
legendary stories. It's like the burning of the Egyptian library.
Mhm. Yeah,
Alexandria, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and you can see because when Manly P. Hall passed away, you know, Jordan was his protege, obviously, and Manly wanted to leave the PRS, Philosophical Research Society, to him, but Jordan wasn't really a businessman. You know, he's more of a, you know, an artist in his field. He was a scholar, and the people that came in kind of, you know, I don't know, pushed out Jordan somewhat, and you can see in what happened now. There's like Luciferians in it. The stuff that they put out and what they're doing, and they're just like Manly P. Hall would be rolling over in his grave. You know, I watch their post and what they're doing. It's a nightmare. So, but yeah, so Jordan, yeah, I don't want to get into that.
Brian, am I the only person that's actually called Jordan's cell phone, talked to you, and like got a meet up sort of thing, or do people still call his cell phone?
Yeah, I still get emails and you know, texts all the time, but for like interviews and stuff, I've had some people like early on when he first did. I did it with like 2 people that I knew that I was close to. Um, but other than that, yeah, I didn't really do anything with anybody else. I just didn't want to make it because it's not my thing, is being, you know, out there publicly. Everything I do is kind of in the private, but occasionally if it's something that makes sense, I feel like it's genuine and authentic, and it's, you know, it's like this, like it's, you know, you're honoring him and you do this every year. That's awesome. Like I appreciate people who genuinely appreciate and honor his work. So yeah. Yeah, but if it was for like I don't know, to like make a business out of it or like to get on a circuit, and not really my thing.
Well, I just found out we lost somebody else I didn't know about. Robert Gilbert. Did you guys hear about that?
Mm-mm.
From the Rosicrucian order. He's a big he's been viral. What is the name of his website?
And as an aside, Micha Dank just quit the Masons.
I was gonna tell that story.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know Truthseekah's love for them.
Well, and you know,
I was
I said I was amazing, not a Mason.
I was a 32nd degree Master Mason. I had lectured my research to the Grand Lodge in New York. It was during COVID, so I couldn't go physically to the building and do it. So we did it virtually, like this. And I lectured my work that I continued, what Jordan loved, what's gotten me all these, you know, supporters and everything. And they left it up, and then I found out that they quietly took it down because they said it was unscholarly and also too revealing of the signs. They said that. So as soon as they said that, I demitted and I left. I don't want to be part of this gatekeeping. This, you know, the video that I did for them too is also what got me booted off YouTube. And I see Spirit Wolf here, Pat Breeze. I see all these people here who used to come to my YouTubes live. And
I know Spirit Wolf. She's beautiful.
Yeah. I recognize these names.
That's my wife.
I wish I had my YouTube still, but I'm on Rumble now.
My wife.
But yeah, no, I left them, and it's not like they haven't been like sending people to my door or anything. You know, it was pretty mutual when I left. I still talk
And
to a
we're
couple
live
of
on
them.
Micha Dank's Facebook right now as well.
Yes, we are. But that's why I left, because gatekeeping in any sort of way is not in my vocabulary. You know what I mean? Have the discussion with me. Don't just do that. Even Sue Tay right here. Hey, Sue. Sue, find me on Rumble. I'm gonna put my Rumble link in the chat.
Yeah,
As soon as I
everybody,
find it.
YouTubers that watched Micha Dank, he lost his channel, so please go to his Rumble channel.
You can bounce
I'm
back,
actually
man.
fighting with a law firm.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm fighting with a law firm to get my channel back. But you know what the funny thing is? I just started my Rumble and I've got 460 people on it. I put it in the chat, guys. This is where you could find me and where I'm going to be doing future stuff.
Oh, by the way, Micha Dank is showing up as Occult Priestess in the chat because of StreamYard.
Yes. So I have
You haven't had trouble with them too?
With YouTube?
No, with that StreamYard?
No, StreamYard's fine.
Oh, okay.
You're just using her account, I think.
No. Okay. What I did was, before I even knew how to use StreamYard, because Priestess is so much better at technology than I am, I gave her access to my StreamYard, and I just left her there. You know, she can use it whenever she wants. I have no problem with it. But I had her quarterback this meeting. So she set it all up. So everything is under her name.
Gotcha.
So she has her own profile on my
StreamYard. In the chat as me.
I thought they did some type of blanket, deplatforming, like they, are you guys familiar with QUX yet?
No.
I think so.
So a good buddy of mine, he worked with Alex Jones for a bit. And remember when Alex got deplatformed in 2015 and debanked and all that? Yeah, when they seen it happen that day, it happened across like, I don't know, it was like 30 or 40 platforms within like an hour or two. And so they thought to themselves, like, how can they all be, at the same time, just sync like that? And then come to find out that Google has all the hardware, or has a monopoly on hardware on our phones, computers, tablets, and what else? I know some other devices, but long story short, he made a point to go out and develop his own hardware, software, and to kind of make sure that it's only device that doesn't have data logs on it. So it's the safest device, and he just got the NSA tried to hack into it for like 8 months and was unsuccessful, and I guess it's the first device that's post quantum encryption.
So I just read an article about somebody today. This kid, you get a random article. This like teenage black kid from Ghana or something creates something incredible, like builds a windmill or something. Yep. This dude created phones that work off of radio waves, so it doesn't need a SIM card. Just blows my mind, the kind of stuff that's out there, and they're swatting these people faster than like all this suppressed technology.
Oh, of course. I mean, this stuff was going on in the 50s and 60s. I mean, we had all the things that all these other people are inventing. We invented back then, and then they stopped it from then, so. Yeah, and that's what's kind of insane is that everyone thinks it's like, oh my God, this new technology. I'm like, man, this stuff's been around for so long. It's just been, suppressed.
Even the cutting edge stuff that they release, like the cutting edge stuff that they release, they've got like 30 years in the black bag ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I remember asking Jordan about the Alex Jones thing when it happened. And let's see, I think I got the clip. It may play. It's a little short clip. Let's see if I can share the screen again. I'm not real good at this, but
with what recently happened to Alex Jones being
we can hear it,
platformed and pulled from all the social media sites, and everything pulled him, and just kind of wanted to deplatform him. And they said it comes from the 1984 book. There was a term that was used that pretty much just erases that person's memory off the internet and all this kind of stuff. Like,
it was called persona non grata.
There it is.
Persona non grata. I first heard about it in relation to the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union decided they don't like you anymore. You're not a good communist. You're thinking too much. You educate yourself and start thinking too much, and therefore you're no longer a member of the common people. You're starting to think like the leaders. You're starting to get in the way.
Persona non grata.
talk too much. And you're causing the common people to start questioning things, so they will put you to death. And the way they did it in the Soviet Union under communism, you became what they call persona non grata. Persona is your name that don't exist. You don't even exist anymore. Don't even bring his name up. It's the same thing in the Jewish religion. If you do something against the Jew, he will actually have a ceremony. And the ceremony is to commemorate your death.
Wow.
There's an actual ceremony that Jews perform, which celebrates your death, that you've died officially. And therefore you're through, you're out. You mess up one time in Judaism and you're
so interesting with Jordan, like the stuff I didn't get until he was gone. Like while he was here trying to tell us face to face at face value, he's saying one thing and I'm hearing another. Until
sometimes you're just not ready to absorb certain things.
Yeah, your mind can't comprehend it. It was a lot of the spirituality was less sexy as I wanted it to be, like movies. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't say spirituality. Let's say angels. Right. His talk of angels were like regular people. They look like regular men and women. And so for me, I'm thinking radiant light beings and beautiful, glowing and etheric and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But all of his stories, he was always trying to get through like all of the angelic encounters he had or extraterrestrial encounters he had. They didn't, you know, look any of those other ways that most
this
of them.
Just reminded what you literally just said reminded me of the story that Jordan used to tell from the Bible, where the host hosts two of the angels and one of them is God, and God stays back to talk and the other two angels leave, and he goes, never know who you're going to host, always be kind. You remember that?
Yeah. It made so much sense. I just couldn't get it while he was here. It took a long time for me, I don't know, studying and listening to other stories and be like, Jordan was trying to tell me the whole time, but I'm just, you know, I'm thinking of etheric, beautiful light beings, which, hey, could exist as well. But most of the stuff he was sharing, he was like, no, you couldn't tell them. You would think you're talking to just Joe Schmo down the street, but this is a person who's thousands of years old.
And they show you this in movies. They always show you like the beggar that asks for a quarter and then someone gives him $1 and then she turns into a fairy godmother. They show you this stuff and people don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I did put together a small clip for us if we wanted to take a short break and we can play the clip for everyone.
Go for it, Priestess.
Okay, I think you guys will enjoy this one. It's pretty flashy.
Begin to see how words and terms.
And we can all take a break, so I'll take us off the screen, and it's about 9 minutes, and then we'll reconvene. So everybody do what you got to do.
Perfect.
While we're watching this. All right.
Once you begin to see how words and terms and symbols are used, and the powers that be in this world have set up a world of symbols and emblems and terms and catchphrases. Once you understand how this system works, for the first time, the world opens up to you. All of it is right in front of you. But if you don't understand what the words are and what the words mean, you're never going to figure out how this stuff works. There's a very sinister, frightening, interesting symbolism that has been imposed upon this country, and the people have no idea in the world what's going on. And I will guarantee you, no matter how educated you might think you are, I will guarantee you, you have no idea in the world how the world actually works. You need to understand that when even on your check, when you're writing a check, the place where you put your name on a check, look at that line, what you're signing on, and get a magnifying glass, and you will find that's not a solid line to sign your name on. That is written, it's a typed written sentence that's been honed down to microscopic size. Get a magnifying glass and read on a check what is said where you sign your name.
I have discovered many years ago that words and magical systems dominate the world that we live in. There is, in point of fact, a magical matrix at work. I've always been interested in the occult. Occult is simply a word meaning hidden, and so much of our powers in this world and the way things work are hidden. Columbia Broadcasting System, CBS has the I. The Columbian system goes back to the Columbian faction of the Illuminati back in the early 1700s, not the late 1700s. And you begin to see why Space Shuttle is called Columbia. You have Columbia University, Columbia Pictures, Columbia Broadcasting. Columbia is a very interesting word, and it's connected to the Jesuits. Once you begin to see how words and terms and symbols are used, and of course symbols are extraordinarily important in world affairs, all of a sudden it opens up, as I said, a whole new perspective on how stuff is happening. Let me give you an example of the magic. Why do you have to go to court? You go to court because you play basketball on a court. You play tennis on a court. How do you play tennis on a court? You play with a racket. Why? Because the people that develop it know it's a racket. That's where we get the term. Consequently, you need to understand that the words which are used by the systems under which we live are not by chance. In a court, the whole idea in a court is to put the ball back in the other guy's court. So this team of attorneys, they stand up and throw the ball back at the other team. Now the ball's in their court. They have to get up and throw the ball back into that court. The judge wears a black robe. Why does a judge wear a black robe? Well, the same reason Catholic priests wear black robes. Rabbis wear black robes. You wear a black robe. For many years, young people graduating from university and college wear a black robe. What's this stuff with a black robe? Let me give you an example of how this stuff works, and it's a very quick example. There are two basic kinds of law under the law of magic. There are two kinds of laws that govern the earth. One is called the law of the land, L-A-N-D. And we've heard that term, law of the land. Why do you use that term, the law of the land? Because that's where people live, is on land. But there's an opposing law which is far more important, far, far more powerful. It is called the law of water. It was developed under the old Druidic system in Europe, which can trace its history back through the Roman Empire, through the Vatican, and ultimately back to the Phoenician Canaanites in the Middle East, of what we today call Phoenicia. Cana was called back what we call today Israel and Lebanon. Syria, that was called Phoenicia, Cana. And the Phoenician Canaanites, so the very word Cana, which we've all heard in relation to the Bible, Cana is a Phoenician word meaning bankers, merchant bankers. Well, the Phoenician Canaanites set up a system of merchant banking and had their Phoenician Canaanite symbols and words connected to their societies, their banking societies. We're talking about in the Middle East. And then through the Greece, and ultimately through Rome, and then into Britannia, and ultimately into this country comes an ancient Druidic Phoenician Canaanite magical system of finance, education, and all of it is right in front of you. But if you don't understand what the words are and what the words mean, you're never going to figure out how this stuff works. That has been imposed upon this country, and the people have no idea in the world what's going on. All goes back to the Phoenician Canaanite system and ancient Phoenicia, ancient Babylonian Sumeria, and this is why the work of Zechariah Sitchin is so important. This is where the kings of England get their concept of the divine right of kings. What are you talking about, divine right? Bankers came in and said, if we're going to loan you money, you guys have lost money, you guys have gone bankrupt, we're going to take care of the accounting. We're going to see where the money goes. We'll give you the money, but we're going to make it sure it goes where we want it to go. So they set up the Federal Reserve System and then the collection agency to make damn sure that you people pay us. We're going to set up to keep a record of how much you owe us in business each week. We're going to call it the Federal Reserve. And to make sure that your stock, all the chumps out there in America working, make sure the stock pays us. We're going to make sure they pay us. You don't just tell me you're going to pay. I'm going to make sure they're going to pay. So we will set up a collection agency. Our own personal collection agency is called the Internal Revenue. So the banks, the corporation called United States, loan money to the privately owned corporation called United States. And the United States Corporation gave your body, your birth certificate, to the banks as collateral for the loan. And that's why today Americans are nothing but slaves. Now this is something I want you to understand. And you need to listen carefully because this is profoundly important. Most people have never heard this and don't even understand what I'm trying to say. So try and follow what I'm going to tell you. There are two kinds of law on the earth, as I've said. One is called civil law, which is the law of the land, and one is called maritime admiralty, which is called the law of water. Maritime admiralty is banking law. And the law on the maritime admiralty says that you, because you came out of your mother's water, are a maritime admiralty product. This is why the ship is sitting in its berth and it's tied to the dock, and the captain has to give a certificate of manifest to the port authorities because money is changing hands. This is why when you were born, you have to have a birth certificate. And it's got to be signed by the dock because that's where the ship is tied to, is the dock. So the dock signs your birth certificate. Why? Because you came down out of your mother's water. You came down her birth canal. You are a maritime admiralty product. And therefore your birth certificate is signed by your mother. And where your mother signed on the birth certificate, get it, you will see it does not say parent or mother, it says informant. Your mother was informing the bank that she has just produced another product to be bought and sold. England, the British Crown, through international banking, owns your physical body. And that's the law. Do I look like I'm dead to you? No, I'm an American, Jack. I ain't dead. And besides, I'll go to an American system for justice. I don't need no British Grand Lodge Masonic system called courts. This British Grand Lodge Freemasonic system called Inns of Court comes out of England. And it has manipulated, exploited, and lied to the people. And everybody in America thinks they got to go to court. Oh, the judge is, they've sent me something that I've got to go to court. I don't go to anybody's court. I'm an American. I don't need to go to court. That's the difference between being a free man and a slave.
All right. So that was our fancy clip for this evening. What did you think about that, you guys?
That was a great clip. Great set
That
of
was
clip.
great. Thank you. That was awesome. There's so many of those.
Did Truth go? Truth left.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, you had to go.
Okay.
I mean, good for him for coming. I mean, that was really.
I know, right? Yeah, it's in the private chat over here. Danka.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
He
that
just had his
made it.
ACL repaired yesterday. Like he's got a fever today. Like he was a trooper. Like it's important to do this. You know what I mean? Like we need to remember this because just the treasure trove of information. How many people would have access to an understanding of uniform commercial code if it weren't for? Yeah, absolutely.
And the way you put it so succinctly, so that I think anyone could get it, really.
And that was the art of Jordan. He used to be able to put complex things in, an elementary way for people to, so they can digest it easily.
It's unbelievable. It was just a privilege to know him. Just how he was able to. What do you guys think he would be thinking about this external revenue service, abolishing the IRS, getting rid of the federal, all this crap that Donald Trump is just spewing. What do you think
I'm pretty
Jordan would
sure
have said
that he
about
would understand it is also a trap. But what do you
Yeah,
think, Brian?
it's another piece of the puzzle. I mean, moving towards what their end goals are. You know, I mean, change needs to happen for them to be able to usher in, the one world order, government, whatever words you want to use, but it's pretty much done through Agenda 2030 and all their protocols, and all the UN countries already signed up for everything. It's already been implemented. Now it's just starting to put things into action, and that's what he's doing.
I think we're starting to see how the global leaders work together because they're
Mhm.
doing it on the world stage. And
Mhm.
it's like the veil has lifted. You can see that they're all friends, all related, and all of that. So that's
Yep.
Jordan's work is coming to fruition in that regard.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I keep on telling everybody to get out. People so easily get caught up in the politics and, the drama of it and the gossip of it. And I just keep on telling them, I said, it's just theater. Like Jordan, you say all the time, they're all playing the same game. And sure, there's days that seems like, Trump might be doing amazing stuff. There's RFK in there talking about, the vaccines and geoengineering, which is awesome. It's like bringing these things to, the conversation among the masses is always great.
Don't you
But
think they're just doing that to pacify the conspiracy theorists, which are now overtaking the internet? The
We're
conspiracy
becoming
theories.
cool.
Well, 15 years ago, conspiracy theories were. I mean, conspiracy theories were just insane 15 years ago. But now the mainstream media is falling apart. They can't get any views, and they know that a big chunk of people are people that are awake to this. They're going on Twitter, they're getting the information. Sure, certain people are getting shadow banned and this, that, and the other thing, but you're really learning a lot through there. And I think they're just doing this to pacify it.
well, and this as a Mason, I mean, Ordo ab Chao.
Mhm.
The point of Elon taking over Twitter, I mean, it was blessed by the Vatican. I don't know if you remember, but after when he spent 2 weeks at the Vatican, I knew, I mean, he was compromised.
Mhm.
I don't know, I had a little bit of hope in him, I guess, in the very beginning, some years back. But after when that happened, and then he had the Baphomet picture up for a long time, and little symbolism here and there started popping up, and then we just knew that he was compromised. But Twitter, from what I can gather, they're gonna allow people to say whatever they want to say for a while in the name of free speech, so things can get so bad and so confusing and so convoluted that people are gonna be begging for some type of control. You
So
know?
Twitter
I think
is
that's what
like
it
the
is.
new Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they do, is
Mhm.
because the internet, they can't silence all the voices. The only thing that they can do, the only thing, is pump the internet full of disinformation, so it takes you twice as long, 3 times as long to find the actual truth. You're just wasting your time. People are going to get frustrated, give up on it.
And almost all websites are owned by corporations that you can find through a search engine. You
Right.
can't find personal blogs and like the real good stuff anymore. It's actually hidden again.
Yeah. And what was Albert Pike's, Third World War, and what was the end goal?
Yeah.
Was to just have everybody so freaking confused, and that's what's happening. I was like, we can see 5, 10 years from now, it's just going to be so with AI now and what it's doing out there and the freaking, manipulation campaigns that are running amok everywhere. It's going to be very bizarre.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's gonna get surreal after a little while. I've been waiting on that for years. Like life will
Yeah.
become like a Salvador Dali painting.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why this year I'm focusing a lot on, getting the right teams together and mounting the right campaigns. Like I don't know if you've seen the one campaign where before Jordan passed, the last thing that we were kind of active in was a friend of his, Mark Malone, that started this company, America 21 Century,
Mhm.
and it was about combating Agenda 2030, because when me and Jordan were at the house, I was, when 2020 happened, we knew that they were making their big push, right? There was a lot of things happening that were like, oh my God, they're taking away a lot and they're getting away with a lot. And so I knew I had to help. And so Jordan came to come live with me. And at that point, we started to figure out what's our best foot forward. I mean, are we going to go to, South America and have a compound there and kind of wait it out somewhere safer, because America is going to kind of destroy itself from the inside out, and went through all these different scenarios. And then we kind of landed on, no, this is still the strongest, constitutional republic on the planet, and that's why they're sitting there trying to destroy us. And so, how can we safeguard this and make sure that we're doing the best that we can do here? And we ended up meeting with this guy Mark that I was telling you about, and he came up with an amazing game plan on how to opt out of these control systems that they put in place through these UN accords that the federal government didn't pass, but it passed on all local levels. So you literally have to go city by city, county by county, state by state to change anything up, and the president can't do anything about it.
Right.
And so there's templates on the website that teach people in their counties and cities how to opt out of these.
Can you
And
give us the website, please?
yeah, it's America21century.com.
Okay, I'll post that in the chat.
So yeah, we worked for some years trying to educate state senators and governors on how to opt out of things, how to opt out of these UN accords. And what's interesting is that being from the cannabis industry, we were probably one of the only groups of people that like actively use the 10th Amendment states' rights to protect ourselves away from the federal government, right? So, like in 1992, I think it was, the city of San Francisco legalized cannabis, while the rest of the country and the state was like, "Oh, you can't do that." And we're like, "Yeah, we can through 10th Amendment states' rights." And so, me knowing that system, when Mark mentioned that, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, okay, that's how we do it. We have to just make sure that we educate everybody. So if you don't want a smart city, if you don't want social credit store system, if you don't want any of these, whatever procedures and different bylaws that they're trying to pass, all you got to do is just opt out of it. And you do it with the templates that we give you on that website.
That is totally cool and like helpful right now.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of us are like, okay, I get the big picture, but what can I do right now?
Yeah, exactly. So everything that we do at the order, which is the order Jordan named the Order of the New Dawn, and so the people that are involved in it, we're constantly just trying to find, solutions that get to the root of the problem as soon as possible. So instead, there's no, like most organizations, they're just there for like the incremental nature of it, right? Like they need a paid position, and they do enough to kind of just get by and do some patchwork, so we don't bleed out, but they still never really get the job done. And so that's what we're all about, is just like, we need to get to the end here, and that's one of the ways.
Welcome back, Micha Dank.
Thank you. This is just so nice to be able to do. So, guys, I put my my social handles in there. If you want to just let me know where we reached out. Hold on, Marianne's got a question here. Brian Vecchio, I wonder how that might work in Texas, though. I'll move to any state which makes itself a sanctuary city from becoming a 15-minute city.
Yeah, and anywhere in the country, you have 10th Amendment states' rights. But obviously, if you don't have support of your local community to get that in motion, you're not really going to get any traction. If you have politicians and police chiefs and heavy investors there pushing for that, and there's a lot of money, that's the problem. It's always the money, and that.
Did we just lose him?
Well, he's on a cell phone. It's been a little spotty.
I believe.
If he pops back out and pops back in.
Yeah.
Is that better now?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. Is this the correct website on the screen?
American Century.
Oh, N. It's got an N in it.
America21century.com. Yep.
Is that
that's
right?
it. Yep, that's it.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and so they per the World Economic Forum, they raised some ridiculous amount of money. Like I don't remember the exact figure, but I think it was like 40 or 50 trillion dollars, right? And that's what they said they publicly raised amongst all the bankers of and their group of the world to implement Agenda 2030. So when you have a city going live with these smart cities and infrastructural projects, all of a sudden there's this major influx of money, and it's hard to break that when people are saying, but oh my god, we finally got I don't know, $500 billion to go build this and this and that. It's amazing, we're building out these communities and that community and doing amazing things. And it's hard to get people out of that, because we spent time in Texas, the who's who. We talked to the lobbyists that deal with like the Bush family and all the the southern states, and because we thought that if anybody was going to get it, that conservatives would get it. And we're telling them, this is the threat. Like you guys are always talking about, who's ruining America, and we're giving you the playbook here, and here's our way out of it. And they just said, look, man, it's really hard to stop that type of money coming in for these smart cities. So unfortunately, you need to have a very strong grassroots movement in your city, county, or state to make that happen.
Pat Breeze says the website is not coming up for me. Brian, can we just confirm this real quick? America, the number 21, the word century.com.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna post it right now too, just to make sure. Hold on one second.
Yeah, Brian is an excellent guest, and I hope that he will join us in future years as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm loving the chat, everybody. Thank you for coming out for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat here just in case if the spelling's off.
Thank you. And get those thumbs up in the chat too, everybody. And share. I shared this on my favorite Facebook group, Ancient Esoteric Wisdom. And we're live on Facebook via Micha Dank.
That's right.
Micha Dank. Does Micha Dank smoke the dank?
I do.
Nice.
I do. Of course I do. How else am I supposed to deal with humanity?
Yeah, I know, right?
There is a place that I go to in Michigan called the House of Dank.
I've been there. Nice. I have a t-shirt.
I told Micha about it and he went.
Yeah, I totally went.
There is the official. This is the official. That's it. That's the website written by Brian.
Oh, fantastic.
So you guys check that out, especially if you're active, like an activist. You want to get more active because 2030 isn't far away, kids. And the way they're setting the stage, it's scary. Like there's a secret deal going on between Trump and the King of England. What's up with that? I just heard about that today.
Oh my God. I know. Bringing us in. No, but now you see how they set up stuff, right? Like they, the whole, let's make Canada a 51st state. Let's buy it. Let's buy Greenland. And they just throw around these terms.
Said he was going to quit and he was going to, and he didn't.
No, well, they throw around these terms really loosely and they play fun with it so that way they can set it up for something like this where they're like, hey, we're going to make America a part of the Commonwealth of the UK, and they're like, huh? What are you talking about?
That's what they were talking about. But you know what? Secretly and quietly, we already are. Of
course. But now they want to make things more official. At least that there was, that, I don't know, at least the choice there to make sure that you have some sovereignty still. But now they want to like seal the deal.
And that's spooky because King Charles is Vlad the Impaler's great grandson.
Yep. And that's why I think Prince Williams is here in the States, kind of planning his flag here in Santa Barbara, here in beautiful California.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Royals in California. What are we going to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, they keep on messing around. They're going to find out pretty soon. I mean, there's a tipping point at some point, and that's what we're waiting for. Because I mean, you hear, I've been really heavily involved in the veteran communities for a long time, and these guys, they know what's going on, and they're just waiting. Obviously, one of them or a group of them don't want to be the first ones to do anything crazy because they'll get put in Guantanamo Bay. But when a big thing triggers it, it's that they're ready to go. So yeah, their time's very limited. But when it's just unfortunately going to get really ugly because they're not going to go without a fight.
A new world order.
Mm-hmm.
On a bright note, though, this gave Alex Jones some serious adrenaline shits today, the whole British thing.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
watched.
What
Trump
happened?
is going to make some pretty scary decisions, and I'm going to want to see Alex Jones' head blow up.
Right. Priestess, don't you and AJ have the same birthday?
Yes, Alex Jones and I are born the same year and the same month and day. Yeah, that can show you astrology. I mean, I do a lot of stuff that he does, but we're completely different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And when's your guys' birthdays?
February 11th, 1974. I think I look better than Alex.
What is he on? Like Ozempic now? His head keeps getting bigger.
No, he's working out. He says that he's not on Ozempic. He said it several times.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no Alex Jones expert. I just, watch once in a while. And it's
Alex
wild.
Jones was.
I don't want to watch the news. I don't want to watch CNN. I'd rather watch InfoWars.
Alex Jones he's a gateway drug. That's what he is. He's a gateway drug to serious conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. I mean, he does get some good information sometimes, but he lost me. One time he was talking about something that was happening in California with it was a ballot initiative that I was a part of drafting, right?
Uh-huh.
And what was interesting is he had this certain perspective of what was going on with it, and he said, "You see, this is big ag getting involved, and they're doing this and they're doing that." And I'm just like, it's so far from the truth because I'm the one that's organizing it. And I said that's not what's going on. But I can see how he can get that kind of optic from where he's looking at, like what he's used to looking through that lens.
Right.
And so that's when I lost a lot of respect for him, because I'm like, if he's doing that on something as loose as this, I can only imagine what he's doing on everything else. You know what I mean? I'm sure he gets
cheap and fast at InfoWars because it's the get it going. And that's why people on YouTube and everybody, when they're posting all the time,
did you hear about
it's not good quality.
Did you hear about the reporter from InfoWars that got murdered?
Yes.
No. What
One
happened?
of their reporters, Jason or something.
I don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
I don't remember his name. He got murdered. Like targeted. He was targeted and murdered.
He was swatted and then he was murdered. I believe that they swatted a bunch of info warriors.
Not surprising.
Isn't that the whole situation was really weird? Like, you heard that InfoWars got sold at an auction to The Onion, and then 2 weeks later, Alex Jones is back in his office, and I haven't heard anything since. Like, the whole thing is just strange.
Hasn't sold. That's why there's still a lot of contention going on, but it is kind of nutty.
The whole thing
was Jordan Maxwell ever on InfoWars?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah.
We should look that up for next year.
Actually, let's play. Just have a moment for Jordan right here.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to make it big.
That's his urns, his remains right here.
Let's
my
make
God.
it big. Hang on a second.
Did a little sleeping lion. I know I like that for him, but we love you, Jordan, and thank you for looking out for us. We got a lot of work to do.
Wow, thank you so much for that visual. And it was Jamie White who was shot down.
Thank you. I knew it was White something. Thank you, Marianne.
Yeah.
Jamie White was shot down. That's correct.
Thank you for showing us the altar. And tell us about that watch.
That was his watch. So I left it there on top. I still have a bunch of little things from him that I keep around that he had.
It's super sweet. It's like he's just been there and taken off his watch and put it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. It's almost like every day. It's like, not having him around to be able to ask questions anymore too. It's just like my dad that I never had.
Mm-hmm.
Every time something comes up, I'm like, oh, I can't call him right now. I can't talk to him. I can't go in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah. Yeah, and it's like no one had the like, even everybody who knew him, the closest that followed in his footsteps too, still didn't even have a fraction of what he knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah.
Well, we can't replace him even with AI, none of that. But at least his legacy still burns on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw a video one time where he claimed to be the one who brought David Icke to America.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he helped get him out here for, he was working with the company down in OC, I think, at the time, and he really liked David and got them to sponsor him to come out. And then some things happen, just, everyday kind of human stuff with, like, I think it's David's girlfriend, and, was trying to, like, push out Jordan, and he didn't like it, and David didn't really say anything, and that's why Jordan had that kind of chip on his shoulder, about David, and he would always say stuff like that. I'm like, Jordan, I was like, just let it go. I was like, you gotta let it go. But because Jordan was just so kind and nice to everybody and wanted to see everybody win, and like all like really good people that get taken advantage of, they never forget. And he's one of those people that, kind of did him wrong on how, and it's very few people that have, but the people that have, I mean, he'll never forget and always made people remember.
Wow.
So, and Jordan, even to the last day, he was even in the hospital, man. He had all the nurses laughing and the doctors. Everybody loved him. They're like, this your grandpa? I was like, yeah, it's my grandpa. Because I had to say, because they wouldn't let me in COVID because it was, he was starting to get sick in like 2021 ish, and of course they wouldn't let you in the hospital without vaccines, and if I wasn't like close to a relative at the time, so I just said that I was his grandson, and but yeah, they all loved him there.
Wow. Well, guys, I love this very much, but I have to actually take off. I have a.
Well, can we tell you that there are congratulations in order for you, Mr. Micha Dank?
Oh yeah,
please tell us why we should congratulate you.
Because I'm getting married.
He's getting married.
Congratulations.
I'm getting married.
What's his name?
Somebody in the chat said that. They're like, Micha Dank is the best gay man on the internet. And I was like, I'm not gay. Someone said that. Oh, I can't. But yes, no, I do have to go. But Brian, it was a pleasure meeting you. I hope we can stay in touch, to be honest with you. I'd like to just randomly text you some thoughts or ideas or get your opinion on certain things. I'd love to pick your brain sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And as we get more active with our website and our groups and our organizations, I'll have some updates for everybody. I'll keep you all in the loop too, in case anybody wants to be a part of something or I can help out somewhere. And that's all I'm about, is just making sure we have, communication and community going. So, because it's going to be a lot of work. It's like a lifetime of work here to get through this, So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, anywhere where I can help.
Out, at occultpriestess.com. Or I think you can email me through my channel, but you can find my email at occultpriestess.com, or look me up, Corinne Wilson, on Facebook, Occult Priestess on Twitter. So there's plenty of ways to stay involved with each other, and let me know if you need any help, Brian.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for this. And everybody in the chat, thank you for hanging. Thank you for chilling. We will talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Thank you guys for putting it together. Appreciate it. I know Jordan would.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.